Of the places that I have traveled, Terlingua and the Big Bend reminds me the most of Tibet. High mountain desert, really barren landscape. It's not densely populated at all. You're at the end of the line. My name's Nathan Stevens. I own the Phat Café. The cafe's been here 4 years. I've been in Terlingua 14 years. I moved to Terlingua in '93 from San Antonio. Started my guide career. My first trip in Tibet was in August of '93. So I would base here in Terlingua, travel overseas in the fall. And when I was here in the States, I'd work on river trips. Meanwhile, started as a prep cook with Bruce Auden when he was still at the Fairmont Hotel. He now owns Beeg on the Banks, one of the premier chefs in Texas, and classically run kitchen. Everything was handmade. So I realized pretty quick that his restaurant was going to be far better education than culinary school. When I was guiding in the Himalayas, my focus, I wasn't looking at stuff as a chef. I was a guide. But obviously being in real tandoori restaurants and real restaurants in the streets of Bangkok, places definitely had a huge influence on my food. Bruce did a lot of Asian fusion back in the 80s when Southwest was the big deal. So he kind of started that ball rolling on Asian flavors and how they work in your mouth. And the flavors are separate. You know, there's salty, there's bitter, there's sweet and spicy. And typically Asian food, it's not all melded together in the same dish like European flavors. You know, you have a pretty basic dish on your table, some sort of noodle dish, and your seasonings, your sauces on the table are what flavor the dish. And the flavors are very pronounced and very separate. What I do to make it fusion, I will use European ingredients, like doing an ossobuco, but using something other than veal, like lamb or cabrito. I do little things in my there's an Indian spice mix garam masala. I make my own. I throw a little cocoa in it, which is, when you eat a vindaloo or a dish that's made with the garam masala, it takes on almost a mole aspect to it. I grow my own vegetables. Lemongrass, kaffir lime. There's basil, mint. I do a lot of greens in the winter. Greens, cabbages. What I like to call featured vegetables are homegrown. Maybe an Indian palak paneer, which is more or less like a creamed spinach with cheese, but instead of spinach, using Osaka purple mustard greens out of the garden. Big Bend is what I call a power spot. You know, there's a few places on the earth that are power spots, and I think it's a palpable energy that you feel when you get here, and it's a combination of the country, the people.
Hello, my name is Jason Barrett. I'm the manager here at La Posada Milagro and Espresso y Poco Mas here in Terlingua. Right now we're in the heart of the Terlingua ghost town, enjoying a little coffee and some pan dulce. The sun's coming up over the Chisos, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the ghost town. The type of ruins we have here are dry stack ruins. When this was a mine, the head of the mine, Mr. Perry, he had to build housing. So he had a maestro, and they were like a brick mason. And that's the way they use these rocks, because they're very square. This is the Chisos honeymoon suite. And from right here, you've got a beautiful view of the Chisos Mountains. And inside, there's a really nice fireplace and a queen-size bed. This is the restroom, and it's got a stone shower that's pretty amazing. This is the Big Bend bunkhouse, and for families or friends who are coming to visit the Big Bend, this is a really nice place to stay. Besides having a unique place to stay, we also do adventure trips to Mexico, cooking classes, birding classes, photography workshops, and yoga seminars. When you're in Terlingua, these ruins were, after the mine left, a lot of people came in, and artists, interesting individuals,